Telling me I shouldn't own guns because young black men are more likely to die from gun violence is asinine and insulting. You either think I'm too stupid to know that a vast majority of those deaths are drug and gang related, or you're a racist who thinks simply being black and having a gun makes me more prone to violence. This race-baiting rhetoric is a disgusting attempt to take advantage of certain sensitivities. Yes, the inner city's young black men kill each other at an embarrassingly high rate, but instead of addressing the real issue, anti-gun politicians in the mainstream media would rather exploit the symptoms because there's no money in the cure. The vast majority of African Americans are good law-abiding people, and many of them own guns. Yet the media keeps trying to tell me that the majority of black people are anti-gun. So I guess that poll conducted by the Pew Research Center that found that 54% of black people believe guns protect you from being a crime victim was just the Illuminati. The image of black gun ownership has been hijacked and vilified by an anti-gun mainstream media, the same way they vilified the Cubans, the Italians, the Irish, and the Mexicans. They project and glorify this D-boy gangbanging image as if African Americans are nothing more than that. This creates an insidious form of bigotry and stereotyping that only further divides this country along racial lines. Come to think of it, it's borderline genius. By blaming the gun, the corrupt media can advance their agenda and look like they give a damn about the inner city, then cue up racial opportunists like Al Sharpton who ignore the systemic degradation of the black family, drugs dumped into the community, an education system you couldn't pay the rest of America to put their kids in, and government programs like welfare that incentivize joblessness, further perpetuating generations of poverty. Instead, he and his dark and lovely perm will continue pointing the finger at the whites will point the finger back at him, and the moderator will keep asking racially inflammatory questions, and the mainstream media sits back and rakes in the dough with their modern-day minstrel show they call journalism. Think about it. The same liberal mainstream media that claims to want to end gun violence in the inner city is the same liberal-minded Hollywood production companies and major record labels that glorify and perpetuate the drug-dealing, gang-banging black man with a gun stereotype. If we really want to solve these problems, we have to understand that it will involve changing generations, not simply election cycle statistics. It will be uncomfortable. It'll challenge our current idea of meritocracy. We must be willing to get rid of our egos. We'll have to embrace personal accountability. We'll have to sacrifice political correctness for honest debate. If we're not ready to do any of these things, nothing will change other than the bank accounts of the mainstream media elites, and we'll watch this country implode on itself because it was easier to blame the gun instead of putting in hard work to address the real issue.